স্টুডেন্ট আসবে নাকি? আর যদি না আসে তাহলে আপনারা আগে সামনে চলে আসেন, সামনে অনেক খালি আছে। All right, so let's start the awareness session. I think we heard speakers talking about it in the first session before signing the MOU. So I will try to elaborate a little further and also share some details about some of the offering that we have from the ICAB for the students who want to study chartered accountancy. So let's start. Okay, so I think we heard our CEO talking about the demand for this profession, other than chartered accountants in this market. As you know, Bangladesh, our motherland, has experienced strong growth over last decade. And as you all know, we are, as if we can progress in this manner, inshallah we will exceed the GDP of Malaysia in 2024 and the GDP of Hong Kong in 2034. And we expect the GDP growth rate will be around 10% in the year 2041, when we expect us to be ranked amongst the developed nations in the world. So if you think about it, the prospect of this country is tremendous. If you think about that, we'll be better than Malaysia, we'll be better than Hong Kong, and then we'll be as good as any developed nation by 2041. It's a bright future for this nation, right? And for that, we have to, we need skilled population to be able to run that economy, right? As we heard in the earlier session, in our country, there are a lot of people who are currently residing abroad, like in Middle East and various other countries. The amount of foreign exchange they earn for us, that amount is being taken away by handful of people coming from neighboring countries. So it is about the differences in the skills. They have the skills, they have the demand, and therefore they are, significantly, highly paid versus our people who are predominantly unskilled working in some of these countries. So when the country becomes developed, we will certainly need a lot more number of qualified people, not only in this accounting and finance profession, we need across the board, across all segments. So for us, we are talking about this MOU today. On the backdrop of this MOU, we are trying to highlight that when we become a developed nation, and also gradually will grow and exceed some of these countries that we look up to, like Malaysia and Hong Kong, there will be increasing need for strong professionals, and of course, if the economy and commerce does well, we'll need more and more professional accountants to be able to run those economies going forward. So we just anecdotally shared that in Bangladesh, as of now, we need at least 12,000 qualified chartered accountants. Against that, we have around 2,000. I know we shared the number 2,200, but of course, some of them have passed away, some of them lives abroad, and therefore the chartered accountants who are serving this economy right now is significantly less than what we really need. And if you just think about it, it's a simple math, right? Demand and supply, we all know. You need 12,000, you have 2,000. I mean, which other profession where you have this kind of a gap? So the day you become a chartered accountant, you don't have to worry about anything, literally. And I can tell you, with the backdrop that I have just shared, that we're going to grow more and more going forward, we'll need, this 12,000 number will keep growing. So therefore, why I'm showing this number over here is to tell you that this country needs more and more chartered accountants, and this is a highly demanding profession in this country as we speak. And the other dimension I wanted to bring in order to tell you why this profession is so important, so highly valued, is that ICAB has recently worked together with National Board of Revenue, which is a tax authority in the country, to restore the discipline in the financial reporting ecosystem. And when I say financial reporting ecosystem, it means you will hear this noise. People talks about, there are, people hide their actual income because, they need, they want to pay less tax to the government, or they inflate their income because they need to borrow money from the bank. So, people have all those various versions of the financial for the same accounting period. So, introduction of document verification system would help us improve or eliminate some of those stigma that we have in this financial reporting ecosystem. What it does is it gives the authenticity to the financial reports which are signed by the auditor. And the way it is designed, the user who has the financial reports in his hand, he or she will be able to go in the ICAB's website and then validate whether the reports or the financial that he has in his hand is actually authentic or not. So it gives a lot of credibility immediately, because it's up to you now to judge, to assess or accept whether a financial statement is right or wrong. So as an investor, you can just check because without if a financial report doesn't have the DBS code, document verification system code, that is immediately invalid. If it has it, your job would be to go and check whether the financial statement is really authentic or not. So, as you can see, this will bring in a lot of credibility and eliminate the noise that we have in the reporting ecosystem. And what that means? It means that the demand for and in fact we're talking downstairs with the Honorable Vice Chancellor, and he's saying that we don't have the informal economy is too big and they're not coming forward because they don't want to come forward, because if they do, they will have to pay more tax. So, and then through this process of DBS, and then of course a lot of other activity like automation happening in the country, all this informal economy will be translated or converted into formal, and therefore there will be higher demand for the chartered accountant to sign or to validate or audit those financial reports. So the improvement of the reporting ecosystem will also at the same time, in one hand, will bring in credibility to the entire reporting ecosystem, to this profession, but at the same time will increase the demand of the professionals in this country. And we heard speakers talk about, especially our president talked about, how this profession can be, why this profession should be so attractive for, you all present today. Because, this is probably the only profession, there could be more, but you can literally start your own business as soon as you qualify as a chartered accountant. So it means that, as a chartered accountant, you can open your own accountancy firm and become a consultant to your clients, or, advise on tax, become a, audit their financial statements and so on. But at the same time, you can also work in the corporates as a, as a service provider. And also, once you become a chartered accountant, your degree will be recognized in many developed countries. Unlike, probably the one such profession in Bangladesh whose degrees are widely recognized, by the institute like Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales in UK, CPA of Ireland, CPA of Australia, SIPFA of UK, and CA of Australia and New Zealand. We just have recently signed MOU with this CINJ. So, you take a degree sitting in Bangladesh, and the degree is immediately recognized by some of these developed countries' institute as well. That obviously, gives a lot of, you can be proud member of some of those other institutions as well. And, many of our members, they migrate to those countries, of course, for different reasons, and they do struggle because, their degree, professional degree is not recognized, and therefore they literally have to start from the, graduation or, post-graduation. So it becomes very depressing for most of these members. And of course, this recognition would certainly help in people who are migrating to some of these developed nations. In fact, the way I put it, it's a vice versa. I actually tell my friends who are, or the members who are living in places like Australia or New Zealand or in the UK and so on, I tell them, you rather come back, because if you have a degree or professional degree in Australia, you come, we'll give you the degree in Bangladesh, because this is where you should be. This is the country we should be part of, because we are on a journey to reach the top in next 10, 20 years. So therefore, I've just shared this context to highlight why the signing of MOU today is so important, and it is absolutely at the right time, and you are lucky today to be part of this ceremony, because I can tell you, when we did our when I was doing the graduation at my university, nobody came and talked to us about this profession. No one gave us any exemption. We had to do everything from the beginning on our own, literally. So I guess this ceremony gives you the opportunity to understand about this profession, and also, exemption that is being offered will certainly helps you move further or become chartered accountant faster, and become a proud member. So what are the steps? So typically, you will see this in our website as well. how to become, how you, if you want to really study chartered accountancy, how you can start. But generally the process is this, that you will contact ICAB, but I wouldn't say that this is the only way. If you know, if you have acquaintances in the chartered accountancy firm, you can directly speak to some of those chartered accountancy firms who can, if they decide to take you, of course, there are some firms, they will take the initial test, written test or interview, and then if they are happy with you, they will take you on board, and of course, they will then go through the process of with Institute of Chartered Accountants to enroll you as the article student. But if you don't know anybody in the system, in the CA firm, then at a minimum, ICAB is there. They will help you to explain how the degree, how this thing works, and to help you find out chartered accountancy firm for you as well. In fact, ICAB has launched a platform, a placement platform, we call it, that will be available. I think this is now available for the students to register there. It's an app-based, like you can have it in your mobile as well. You can register and then submit your willingness, and the CA firm who needs article student, they will reach out to you directly through the same app. So this is a brilliant steps taken by the institute this year to improve the connectivity between the aspiring or the potential students and the chartered accountancy firm. And of course, like I said, that once you get a firm, chartered accountancy, join them, and then the registration process will start, and the registration is offered are done only at the Institute of ICAB, and this is also we also have automated the process this year. And then this very MOU that we have just signed today, under this MOU, you will get exemption for 3 papers, which I will share in the subsequent slides. And then you can. So what that means is you have to apply for exemption if you are eligible, because you need to have certain level of GPA at the subject level. If you qualify, you can then apply for the exemption, and ICAB will let you know that if you're indeed getting the exemption. And then there is other thing that you have is coaching classes. ICAB offers mandatory coaching classes. Once it is mandatory, of course you can have, if you want to do further classes, you are allowed to do so. But there is one time for each paper you have to have complete the mandatory coaching classes. So that you need to register for it, and then ICAB will communicate. We currently take the classes online, so it's very convenient. You can do this at the comfort of your office or home. And at the same time, you need to prepare for the exam. And here is what I want to tell you something. There is a views that is difficult. We heard some of the speaker talked about it in the earlier session. It is an impossible journey. You will, I was told when I was thinking to join chartered accountancy, I was told that nobody passes. It's like a forever course. Nobody passes. It will take 7 years, 10 years, you become, old before you become a chartered accountant. So all those nonsense we heard, I can tell you, those talks were literally nonsense. So you don't have to trust any of that. Because I had all of it. Of course, I was depressed, but then I have finished chartered accountancy in 2.5 years. My course was for 3 years, so I had to wait 5-6 months before I get my degree, because you have to complete the course articleship period as well before you get the degree. So I passed before the course was completed. Typically, people take longer, but things are changing. And the message that I want to tell you, you are studying at one of the top universities in the country. If you do it well, if you study well here, believe me, that chartered accountancy degree is not very different. You just have to stay focused. You just have to, have only one plan, right? Do not have plan B. If I fail, then I'll do these, that. Many students would do that. They would start the journey with a mindset that, okay, in case I fail, I'll do A, B, and C, B, C, and D, and that's it. You're finished. You cannot have, if you're investing your time, you don't get this time back in your life again, right? So, and if you are to study chartered accountants, you want to become a chartered, this is the place where you have to work hard. You do well in the university, and if you know what you're studying, if you understand what you're studying, that course is straightforward. And I'm sure all of you will be good in English. Typically, the students that you get, not all, I mean, a good percentage of that cannot write good English. So, and communication is little poor. So, I believe you all would be a lot better from that dimension as well. So, I think the chances for you to pass chartered accountancy is significantly higher than many, and you will be a lot beyond those talks that we hear typically, and people will try to scare you by saying all those things. I would request you to ignore those nonsense talks. Okay? So I would suggest, if you want to study chartered accountancy, invest your time now and have one plan that you will become a chartered accountant. And believe me, for us, it took 2.5 years because I had to wait 9 months before the first exam. You don't have to wait for 9 months anymore. So that means you can actually pass CA probably 1.5, 3 years, 2 years. So there are 3 levels which I'll share in the subsequent slides: certificate level, professional level, and the advanced level. Certificate level 7, professional 7, and then advanced level 3 papers. And here the exemption that you're talking about today is for 3 papers in the certificate level. So that means you have to attempt the remaining 4 papers of the certificate levels. There are training requirements, like I said, even if you pass in 2 years, you still have to wait for the course to complete. The articleship is for 3 years, so you still have to complete that course before you are formally given the degree. So that is mandatory. And of course, once you pass the degree subjects, all 17 papers, and then you complete the articleship period, you will be awarded the Associate of Chartered Accountants degree. Okay. Just one more point I want to highlight here, which I'll cover also later. I know I say, contact ICAB for a CA firm, right? That's how things begin. But what we have done recently, and this is important, what we have done recently is to take one more step and going closer to the university. So whilst you are at the university, meaning you are currently studying at this university, you actually can join the chartered accountancy degree. You have to pursue this course whilst you are a student, right? And we call it pre-articleship students program. This has just been launched this year, again, to make it easier for you. Because we know that the papers that we teach or in the certificate level, and as I have rightly seen today, we are exempting 3 papers today out of 7. And that means what university teaches now is not very different from what our formal courses at the ICAB. So keeping that in mind, we thought, since students are currently studying at the university more or less the similar kind of a thing, why can't we allow them to also sit for the ICAB exams whilst they are studying those papers at the university as well? So this is the step we have taken. So that means that if you are in second year, third year, and if you believe that you may not get the exemption under this program or MOU that you have just signed today, you may want to enroll now as a pre-articleship students, and then appear those coaching classes online, and then we also are launched. In fact, this is the first time in December we'll take the certificate level exams using the MCQ model, multiple choice questions model, and it's an online base, like in a computer. But of course, you will not be able to take it from your home. You need to come to the institute and take those exams. So we are making it a lot more easier. We'll talk about that in detail further. But what I'm trying to tell you here is to encourage you whilst you are doing this studying at the BUP, and you can actually enroll for this degree. Like 3 papers will be exempted, right? What about the 4? You still have to, when you join, you have to still do those papers. So might as, if you want, you can actually enroll for those 4 papers at least, and then complete whilst you are a student. So that means once you finish your education, graduation or post-graduation, you join a CA firm and start from the next level, which is the professional level. So I think this is again a brilliant steps taken by the ICAB leadership, and to make it convenient and easier for the students, for the potential students who wants to become a chartered accountant. It will definitely make it a lot faster and easier for the students, and also faster for them to become a chartered accountant in future. So these are the courses I was talking about, the 17 papers. The certificate level: accounting assurance, management information, business and finance, business law, information technology, and taxation. And these are in a professional level is more like the corresponding paper for the same. Financial accounting is little advanced because we talk about, as you progress more. First level is more, we test the knowledge whether students know. And the second level, it will be obviously some, some theories, but there will be a bit of a practical dimension attached there as well. So because students who study CA, they will have theory knowledge, because they study all the books and syllabuses, but at the same time they will be going and seeing the visiting many clients, and they will learn a lot of the things with how those theories are being practiced, and in the exam we'll test some of those practical dimensions as well. So similar papers, but comes with a bit of a practical dimension. Advanced level, again, it is a lot more advanced. You literally will have, there will be a lot of focus on the analytical skill, ability to connect the dots, and case study and stuff like that. So those are the ones which are at the advanced level. And of course, once you, like I said before, once you pass all the papers, you become a chartered accountant. So what is the MOU that you have signed today? So it is actually, there are 2 MOUs you have signed with two departments. One is with the Accounting and Information System Department, and the other one is with the Department of Business Administration General, right? So there's a 2, and both the department would get exemption. The students who get the GPA for the courses that is mentioned over here will get, and then have 3.25 GPA, will get exemption from these 3 papers: accounting, management information, and information technology. These are for the Department of Accounting and Information Systems, and this is applicable from the year 2017. Okay, so little, we can go back, and then students who actually have passed or graduated, but who started the journey in 2017 in this university and have this kind of GPA, and of course they have to have CGPA of 3.25 as well, they will get exemption from this paper. And like I said earlier, you have to apply for the exemption at the institute, and they will check some of the records, mark sheets and transcripts, and then based on that, exemptions will be granted. And we are trying to simplify that process as well. I'm not committing anything because we're still working on it. And the next one is the same. It is the same courses as well: accounting, management, and information technology. So I'm sure, I think this will be probably disseminated among the students by the university as well, so that you know exactly which courses you need to do well so that you get the exemption when you pursue the chartered accountancy. Now I want to highlight some of the things that you have done for the students. And recently, and I can tell you, this is a journey. We are still on the journey. It is still work in progress. But I think we made good progress in the direction to make it easier for students to pass chartered accountancy so that they become attracted as well. So that's what we tried. So let me share some of those dimensions. I mentioned earlier that during our time, we had to wait for 9 months before we are even allowed to sit for exam. You are registered, you have completed the classes, but no, you didn't complete 9 months, so not allowed. Even if you are ready, the after exam you will pass, but no, they don't allow. So it was quite a archaic rule, so that is gone. Okay, so all you need, you register as an article student. You still have to do the classes because it is a prerequisite. So once you do the class, if the exam is next day, you are ready. You can sit for the exam. So you don't have to wait for those 9 months before you even sit for the exam. So that is gone. That we have made it easy. Subject-wise passing in our time. Oh, that was a very painful thing. Like, even though in my case I passed in one go all 3 exams, but for many of my friends, let's say in those days it was like intermediate. There was a 2 group 1 A and B. There are 3 papers in each. If a student passes 2 papers but fail in 1 out of 3, guess what? They have to retake the whole exam next time. It was ridiculous, But this was the case in the past. Same in the group A, that was even more dangerous. Group 1, which is I will call it professional level. There are 5 papers, and if you fail in 1 and pass all 4, again same thing. You go back, study again, appear in all 5 exams next time. It was a joke. But we have come out of those. We have overcome some of those things. We made it now simpler because I told them, listen, guys, if a chartered accountant should know how to ride a bicycle, how to ride a motorbike, how to ride a car or a helicopter, plane. If you have showed them how to ride a bicycle, that's it, done. Bicycle ticked. If you know how to ride a helicopter, ticked. So done. You don't have to test him again, right? So, but it was the case earlier. No, I know I've seen it, but then you have to do it all together in one go. So gone. Those are no longer there. So you can pass each paper individually. You pass. That's it. Behind you, you move on. And then I was talking about the PASS program, pre-articleship student program, and I just mentioned it. I think I talked about it in detail. I would really encourage you all to pursue this one because it will take you ahead in the curve. You will be, and it's not very difficult. And this is going to be MCQ based as well. So if you study well, you know the subject, it's easy. And we are trying to make it even more agile going forward. I'm not committing anything, but we want to take it to a level that if you want to take the exam any day, register. It's like a doctor's appointment. You register online, you get a slot, you go, you sit for the exam, you submit the button, you get the result, you go home, pass or fail. I expect you to pass. So that is where we want to go, but we just started the journey. In December, we are having our first exam, but the future is that. Just for the certificate level only. We are not offering this for the professional and advanced level because, like I say, the certificate level is the knowledge test, and we thought that we can test knowledge through the MCQ model, but for professional and advanced, we also have to assess the ability to write. There will be some practical dimensions in it, so therefore, those will continue to have under the usual process of written exams. And there's one more thing we have done. There was a situation that I have seen many students in certificate level, they would have passed, there are 7 papers, right, in certificate level. They would have passed all 6 and then stuck with one for whatever reason, not being able to complete. Appearing multiple times and then 2-3 times they give and then say, amake diya hobe na. They become frustrated and then forget about the thing. So we thought, why don't we allow them to, process is, you have to complete all the papers or clear all the papers of the certificate level to be eligible to appear in the class of next level and exam of the next level. Okay? So that was the process in the past. So this year we changed it. We said no. If a student passed, for example, let me go back. If a student has passed the, say, accounting of the certificate level, he or she will be able to appear in the financial accounting and reporting in the professional level. Okay, so that means somebody is good in accounting. Okay, so he passed certificate level. We'll allow him to, appear in the professional level as well. Why do you stop him? Just like I said, if he learns, how to ride how to fly a helicopter before learning how to, drive a car, what is the problem? He still learns, right? So I think that was the concept, that these are all independent courses, not dependent on each other. So therefore, we'll allow them to move on. And you know what? If a student, let's say, stuck with one paper at the certificate level, and then because we now allowed them, they will move on. They will complete some of the papers at the professional level. If they can pass, they will become very serious. There are only few. So before if they're stuck with one paper at certificate, they will have 7 + 3, 10 papers still left. They will have a long journey ahead, right? So we allow them to complete part of the journey that is ahead as well. So the distance to the destination comes down significantly. So this will probably motivate them and take the remaining papers they could not complete even more seriously, and therefore, hopefully become qualify as chartered accountant. So to encourage students, to make it easier for the students, we have offered this flexibility. And we have offered this flexibility for both professional level as well as for the advanced level. So initially did it for professional, but then subsequently we thought, why not for the advanced as well? So our council, they also have supported for us to offer this flexibility even for the advanced level as well. So I think this is again an important step that we have taken, because we have seen many students where trying, but they're for whatever reason not being able to get through, and they disappeared from the radar of the institute. Objective is to bring them back. That you come back, you pursue the degree, and then or move on and then become a chartered accountant faster. And I was talking about the online exam. That's the one that we have introduced, the MCQ-based online exam for the certificate level only. And first exam we're taking in, inshallah, starting from 8th of December, right? And then another thing, earlier there used to be 2 exams in a year. Okay, so December and June, that was the standard process, and we wanted to, in order for us to, because the first slide I showed you the gap, we need 12,000 today versus 2,000 we have. We need to bridge the gap as fast as possible. So for that, we thought one of the ways would be, obviously, in addition to many other things that we need to do to attract the brilliant students like yourself, we also have to, increase the frequency of the exams, and that is what we have agreed to do. Yes, because of the pandemic, we could not do 3 exams. In fact, we are doing 3 exams this year. The one is starting on 29th of November. So with that, it will be 3 exams this year, but I can tell you, it is going to be the minimum number going forward. That in each year, we'll take 3 exams. And like I said, inshallah, online exams for the certificate level will not stick to anything. Anytime, any day, students can come, enroll, and then appear for the exams. ICB scholarship programs is another one. I think this was already there, but we are revamping the model, the offer, because it was very haphazard way managed. There was too many offering with too many other conditions. It was not really serving the purpose. So we are in the process of finalizing a foundation, ICB foundation. So once we have that foundation completed, we will then offer articleship to the brilliant students. And of course, here we have a bit of a caveat. It has to be brilliant students, first of all, because we want to encourage them to come. But at the same time, students who need a bit of a support, because, for whatever reason, family reason and so on, we'll offer this for those students who need it. Okay, so that's what we have. Then this is the new one that we have recently got approved, and we got our first tranche of fund as well from one of the local corporates. I can mention the name because we are so proud of them. We are so thankful to them. BSRM is the company who have donated a good amount of money for us to offer. It's a loan. Qarz-e Hasana is an Arabic word. It means is a সহজ or good ভালো loan. So এটা আমি বাংলায় বলি simple term, this is a interest-free loan that will be offered to the brilliant students and then students who need support during the articleship period. Because typically if you do your graduation, probably most parents would expect you to stop taking money from the parents and then run by yourself. And then there are some family, they would probably need a bit of a support from the students who have just graduated. But in the process of starting CA, if they keep taking money from parents, they sometimes become upset, and there are parents who, they literally reach the level that they cannot provide anymore. So in order to take care of those brilliant students, this two package will be on offer. Our scholarship and then the Qarz-e Hasana, we call it. And it is basically interest-free loan to be offered to these brilliant and students who need support. And this is repayable after they complete the articleship period of 3 years. And we give some grace period so that, typically if you complete the articleship, you will get some good payment from the chartered accountancy firm, or probably will get a job as well, even if you do not complete the degree or don't become a chartered, which I don't want from any of you here. So once you complete articleship, I think the time is 6 months. 6 months after you complete the articleship, then there is a committee who will understand your circumstances, students who take the money, and then agree the repayment schedule, interest-free. So that's the way this program has been designed. I personally believe this will solve some of the problems that many students face in the process, in their aspiration or against their aspiration to become a chartered accountant. So brilliant step again taken by the institute. Then there is one more degree. There are a couple of more degrees we have offered under the institute. This year again we launched. We call it Registered Accounting Technician, and another one is a Certified Accounting Professional. And this is there are many students who eventually cannot complete the full or cannot get the full degree, like associate degree, after completing all 17 papers. This is for them, that if a student completes, say, I think 3 papers of the certificate level, they will be, and they complete the articleship and have, I think, 1 year of experience or so, post articleship, they will be offered this Registered Accounting Technician degree. So what that means, there are so many students who have completed their articleship, have passed some of the courses, but they don't have anything to talk about. They cannot say what they are, because this course of 3 years of articleship is a very very valuable courses. Students learn a lot of things during this process, practical things, and that puts them in a very high demand bucket to the corporates as well. Now, but what they have, even though some of them have passed, say, certificate level or professional level, but for one or two papers still pending, they cannot say anything. They just have to say, I'm course complete, and that's it. Because there is no other recognition in between. Either you are a chartered accountant or you are like nobody. So in order to recognize some of the qualification that they have achieved, yes, not the full qualification, partly, we have introduced this 2 degree. Registered accounting technician is for 3 papers in the certificate level. If they complete, they have to, so 3 papers they have to pass. They also have to complete the articleship of 3 years, and then 1 year of experience, working experience, either in a chartered accountancy firm or in a corporate. And there is an ethics course, which is a very simple course that we have developed. It's again MCQ based. If they take it, that's it. If they get the degree, and they can write, ABC, whatever the name, and then they can write RAT. If they have completed the certificate level and also have completed 3 papers of the professional level, they will get this degree, CAP, and they can write that next to the name, like we write as FCA, fellow chartered accountant. They can write CAP, which is certified accounting professional. So again, this hopefully our objective is not to give them the degree and then they'll let them become happy about it. Objective is very simple. People who tried, gave their blood and sweat over many years, could not pass, and they have forgotten the path to ICAB. We want to connect with them through this degree. And then, because there will be some ongoing training programs, learning program for them. So this will rebuild the connection with them and the institute, and hopefully that will encourage them to, remember those good old days and then restart the journey to become a chartered accountant again. So that's the aspiration, main objective. But of course, it also recognizes some of the effort, some of the achievement they have. Yes, partly, but still an achievement. So we give them the formal recognition through this process. So I just wanted to summarize some of these things that has been done by the institute, and I can tell you this is still work in progress. These things are done, but there are a lot more that we intend to do. Our objective is very, very simple. We want to make it easier for students. Okay, so there is a belief. People say, "Pash korena, nina shena," but these are wrong. I said that before joining this year. No, the pash korabe na. All wrong. এখানে আমরা চেষ্টা করি, we try, and I can tell you because I sit in some of those forums. Institute, the committee, they try their best. We keep revisiting, so that we can increase the number. But believe me, despite trying our best, we can only see only a handful of chartered accountants qualifying. But I think the message that I wanted to give you is that there are a lot we are doing at the institute to make it simpler and easier for the students. There will be many more coming in the coming days, and I would encourage you to start the journey now, because it is now possible through the PAS program. And this is the degree that gives you, this is what I say, that guaranteed success. Of course, Allah knows. But given that so much of supply and demand gap, 2,000 versus 12,000 right now, and then we're talking about economy is going to grow rapidly. So that means the demand will keep growing. Informal economy will be converted to formal. That means demand will grow further. ecosystem is now recovering the credibility. Again, demand will increase further. So, you invest your time or in place where you know there is a guarantee, some degree of guarantee. So that's why I would suggest, I will encourage you to take this journey. I can assure you will not regret. And if you start the journey, the only point I will make, do not start with plan B. Because anything you start with a half-hearted manner, difficult. You want to jump from one roof to the other roof. If you jump with your full force and focus, maybe you will cross. You will hit the other floor. But if you and you will be probably in between the buildings, right? So I think you need to take that journey with a full force and attention, not with a double mind. And therefore, I personally believe you will all succeed and become a chartered accountant one day. Okay, so with that I finish. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, sir, for your excellent presentation on the details, guidelines on ICAB examinations. I hope that you do not have any questions. The students were calling me last night that, sir, আমি এত সালে শুরু করেছি, আমি IS2, আমি পাবো কিনা, So still, if you have any question, you just contact with the counseling section of ICAB. Shakur Bhai is here. Who will always guide you to achieve the degree from the administrative part. However, thank you so much, all the esteemed guests from ICAB. Thank you so much, respected chairman, faculty members, admin members of BUP, and definitely the students for whom we have been working relentlessly to achieve a goal. The goal is simple, that we want to see you a successful citizen in future. So it may be a chartered accountant, maybe a teacher, but at the end, definitely a good human being. So on behalf of BUP, I would like to show my gratitude to ICAB for coming here, for working with us, and I'm sure that we will be working for a longer period of time. With that note, thank you all. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.